to Folktales of Africa. Today's story is about Uma, the goddess daughter. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Uma. She was unlike any other girl in the village, for her beauty was so extraordinary that it seemed to radiate a soft ethereal glow. She was so beautiful that her skin glowed like the African skies. Her hair flowed like a river. Uma was a true vision of beauty. When Uma was born, everybody could see she was special. Even when she was a little girl, people were amazed by how graceful and charming she was. They would stare at her as she walked along the village paths. They wondered how someone so young could be so incredibly beautiful. The villagers thought that the gods must have specially crafted her and given her so much beauty that was more than just an ordinary one. But under her extraordinary beauty, Uma had a heart that was just as special. She was very kind, caring, and always helping the elderly, looking after the sick, and assisting anyone who needed help. Even though everyone admired her and thought she was so wonderful and beautiful, she remained humble and down to earth. She didn't use her beauty to get special attention or treatment from anyone. Instead, she used it to inspire others to see beauty as just an ordinary thing. In the evenings, as the sun set and the stars filled the sky, Uma would sit under the vast starry night with her hair shining in the moonlight. She felt a deep connection with the land as she watched the stars. Uma's origins were shrouded in mystery. No one knew of her mother and how she was birthed. Only her father, Emeka, who was a farmer, knew the true story behind his daughter's birth. Many years ago, Emeka, who was a humble farmer, went to the farm one day and saw a very beautiful woman on his farm, unconscious and wounded. He could not resist helping her, so he took her home and cared for her to health. When she was finally better, she fell in love with this kind farmer, and they both grew a family. She got pregnant and gave birth to Uma. Unknown to Emeka, Uma was the daughter of the gods. One day, Emeka came home and saw visitors in his living room of extraordinary height and beauty, and they had come to take Uma's mother away. Uma's mother told Emeka that her father, the kings of the gods, had sent for her and had come to take her away. And then Uma's mother told Emeka, her beloved, to take care of their daughter, and then handed him a coin, telling him anytime he needed her help, he should rub the coin vigorously. And then she left. If she didn't go with them, she told Emeka that they will kill her and Emeka and everything around them. Uma's mother, Nia, disappeared with this being, and Emeka never saw his beloved again. He was so sad, but his daughter made him happy. Emeka now knew that his daughter was half goddess and half human, but kept it a secret from his daughter and anyone else for his daughter's safety. As Uma grew, her radiance only intensified. Her laughter filled the village with warmth, and her kindness touched the hearts of all she crossed. She helped her father in the farm whenever she could and also helped doing house chores. But Uma's father, Emeka, did not know that Uma had a special gift. A strand of Uma's hair could bring back youthfulness and heal the sick. Whenever she wanted to help, her hair would turn golden. She found this out when she was a teenager, but kept it to herself. But she was so curious as to why this happened and why she had such incredible gifts. But she kept it to herself and did not even tell her own father. Her hair always turned into gold whenever it was in its magical state. One evening, as Umma was enjoying the African sunset, she noticed a wounded animal. Then she stood up to go help this animal and then pulled off a strand of her hair and placed it on the animal. Her hair turned golden and the animal was healed and jumped up and walked away. Unknown to Umma, an old woman named Ngozi was hiding behind a rock. She was so happy to have found Umma's secret and now knew the reason for Umma's beauty. Ngozi, this wicked old woman, planned of how she was going to capture Umma and get a piece of her hair so that she could harness the magic for herself. This old woman who had witnessed Umma's magic had always been envious and jealous of Umma since the first day she laid her eyes on Umma. Her heart burned with bitterness every time she watched Umma and her beautiful self. Now Ngozi knew that she could now possess a piece of Umma's golden hair and she would use it for her own self and become the most powerful person in the village and perhaps as beautiful as Umma. Night after night, Ngozi plotted and schemed. She delved into the darkest corner of magic, searching for a way to capture Umma and steal the precious hair off Umma's head. Ngozi knew that this would be a difficult task, but she was going to use Umma's kindness to play on Umma. Umma had a reputation of being very kind and helpful, and everyone loved her, and so she was going to use her kind heart to trap her. One moonless night, Ngozi hatched a devious plan. She had created a magical decoy, a shimmering image of a lost child who was crying in the forest. She did this to lure Umma, who had a kind heart and would always help anyone in need. There, under the cover of darkness, Ngozi would strike and capture Umma for herself. With this in mind, Ngozi started her incantation and summoned an illusionary crying child deep in the forest. The next day, news of a lost child reached the ears of Umma, and unable to resist helping, Umma went straight deep into the forest alone with her compassionate heart. Little did she know she was walking into Ngozi's trap. As Umma entered deep into the forest, she felt a strange presence around her, but her curiosity and kindness pushed her forward. She followed the sound of the crying child deep into the forest until she reached a secluded place. Then the illusion disappeared, and Ngozi, clothed in dark magic, emerged from the shadows. "Aha, Umma," hissed Ngozi with envy eyes. "I have waited for this moment for a long time. You were so beautiful and I wondered why the gods would bless you with such beautiful. Today I am going to take a strand of your hair and use it for myself and perhaps become very beautiful like you." Umma, sensing danger, tried to use the magic of her hair to escape, but Ngozi was so quick and immobilized Umma with a spell. The two of them were locked in a battle, but Ngozi was so strong that she overpowered Umma and made her to sleep with a spell and then locked her up in her hut. Umma was still a very young woman and did not know how to harness her power very well. She didn't even know she was half human and half goddess. Now she was under captivity, under Ngozi's wicked trap. For days, Emeka had not seen his daughter. He had searched and searched and searched, and he was so worried. He called for help from the villagers, and they searched the entire village, but no one found Umma. Emeka was so worried and so sad and did not know what to do. In part 2 of this story, we will see how Umma was rescued from Ngozi's evil trap. See you in the next story. But don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. See you in part 2 of this story. Bye.